Was basically released a couple of weeks ago by the channel of Valuetainment.
Valuetainment Money.
Valuetainment Money, part of the Valuetainment channel network,
Yeah, the brand.
which is basically the channel that is run, or let's say the main head guy is Patrick Bet David.
Yes.
But in this show, this is basically a show that is being run by, I forgot the guy's name, just had a blackout.
Sosnick.
Yeah,
Sosnick.
yeah.
I forget
It's
his
a
name.
kind of a Polish name, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
But they had three people there: Coach Greg Adams,
Adam
Hafeez
Sosnick.
Baoku. What did you say?
I said Adam Sosnick is his name.
Adam Sosnick. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. That's what you had Hafeez Baoku from the Roommates, also the Standard.
Maybe you can show it with your cursor.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's in the suits. He's the suit guy, the swanky guy, striped suit, chest hair showing. Well, I don't know, but I think he's trying to be the Miami guy out here. This is on the right side. You have Coach Greg Adams, and you have Ellie Ray, and this is Adam.
Yeah.
And Hafeez is a, how would you call it? He's a man improvement expert in a sense.
He brands himself like that. So he both Coach Craig, which is the one all the way to the right in all black, and Hafeez are in the manosphere, in the man improvement business. So they both give tips and advice to men so they can become better people, but of course according to their philosophies, their way of looking at life and the meaning of it.
Okay, clear. So now you have the introduction. Let's start to play the video. Hafeez, well, not Hafeez. They are talking about prenups.
Did you get a prenup when you got married?
No, and I
didn't.
I'll explain to you guys why. So I think, and I talked about this. I love the prenup conversation. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
There's three reasons why I didn't get a prenup. But the first reason is I actually believe prenups are good and bad. They're good because they protect you. They're bad because they don't protect you enough. What I personally believe is something.
That's a flawed argument.
I hate to pull out my analogy again, but I mean, it's a great analogy. I have to put it back.
That's a very good analogy.
The seatbelt helps you,
but doesn't help you enough.
A lot of time, but doesn't help you enough. So I might as well not use it. I might. Oh no, I'm not gonna say what just went through my mind. Hey, did you see? I did this.
Yo. Yeah.
You might gamble with your life.
Yeah, gamble with your life. Yeah.
R.I.P. Takeoff, man.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's protecting you, but it's not protecting you enough. So you might as well don't put the seatbelt on. Let's see what else he has to say about this.
Something which I did research about this called a marriage contract. You may not like this, but please give this to me. How many kids do you have?
3.
So let's say Allie married her man and she said she wanted 3 kids, right? Yeah. She gets married, she wants 3 kids. All of a sudden,
prior to the
prior to marriage,
okay,
he
gotcha.
agreed. She said, honey, I want 3 kids. Is that cool with you? He said, of course, baby, you want 3 kids. We're gonna have 3 kids. She's married. 5 years into it. Hey, when are we having our kid? Next year. When are we having our kid? Next year. It's year 8. He's like, I don't want any kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? He agreed, and she both agreed that we were gonna have 3 kids. That's why she married him. When it was time to have kids, he changed his mind. Well, I don't want kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? Let's go on the guy's side, because the red pill guys love when guys are being the victim.
Stop it. This no. So you don't need a contract to leave a marriage if you don't get what you want. No one's gonna look at a contract if you decided that you don't want kids, or the other one decided you don't want that. So the other side decided that he or she doesn't want kids. You just leave. It's not binding. You cannot force. You cannot go to court and enforce pregnancy of your wife.
Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you actually go, but so the way he's thinking is you have to put it in the contract. This is like so basically you're putting in the contract. Okay, we have to do the 1 2 to. It's I don't know. I don't know. This sounds kind of nuts to me.
It's different.
But
yeah.
it's
That's
different. Yeah, maybe different is the right word these days. Before I disrespect nuts as well, they try to cancel me for disrespecting nuts.
Okay.
Anyway,
You have allergies.
let's continue.
Yeah.
So you're a man, and in your marriage, you agreed that we're gonna have sex, let's say twice a week. That's
an agreement.
I'm just saying
That's a verbal contract.
We're
Mike.
agreeing that we
Hitting it
get
twice
in
a
there
week.
at least twice a week. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm not in the mood anymore. She's like, oh, now I'm on my
That
period.
won't be all of a sudden. That'd be almost immediate. But go ahead.
Okay, and then months into it, right?
Greg is sharp out here. Greg is, but that sounds crazy though. Are you gonna put so we're going from putting in the contract how many babies you have to how many times a week you want to have sex?
I mean,
It sounds like
a wish list.
Tell me.
You can put a wish list. I mean, the agreements are not binding. Again, you cannot go to court and enforce intercourse. You can't do that. So it's just an agreement. What you can do is, let's say for yourself, have something laid down on paper where it states that, let's say, what you guys want. But that I would regard it more as a, let's say, a couple goals. Couple goals. So you come together, you sit together, you talk, and then you define couple goals. And then, hey,
don't hashtag it.
You don't hashtag it, and you need to have a plan B as well. Because maybe you think you want 3 kids, but then both parties, both people find themselves in, let's say, very high demanding jobs, which causes them to have limited time for children. So then they settle for one, or perhaps the mother or the man or the woman cannot reproduce, and so is that an infringement of a contract? No. So you can call it a contract if you want to, but the 2 points that Hafeez is bringing is talking about now, can it be regarded as a contract? You can call it a contract. A contract is basically something that has agreements in it. So this document would have agreements in it, but would this document be enforceable by law, at least the two topics brought forward by Hafeez are not enforceable by law. So you're saying that the prenup doesn't provide protection, but then, so you don't put the seatbelt on, but you do put on a belt buckle, and you want the belt buckle to protect you more than the seatbelt. Doesn't make sense.
I don't know if it's a belt buckle or you're tying yourself to the seat with a rope.
This gives you a false sense of protection, because this doesn't protect you with it doesn't protect you against anything.
RJ, if you would write this contract down, if let's say Hafeez is telling you, I want two. Let's go by his logic. Let's say if you're really negotiating a contract, wouldn't you? And I don't agree with this point, but let's say for the sake of
The discussion, yeah.
for the discussion, you're writing down an contract which says you have to have 2 days a week sex with your significant other. Would you, as a lawyer, put a small part to that? If it's 3, I get a bonus.
As a smart lawyer wouldn't even write it down. Because it's borderline something else.
This is pure prostitution. Let's use the word.
Sex
Let's
for
call it
money.
what it is.
Sex for money. A smart lawyer would not write it down. Wouldn't even write it.
So you're trying to tell me that whoever wrote this down for him, or no, he didn't write it down for him. Let's put it that way. Do not put it on him. If he presents this to any lawyer, the lawyer will look at him crazy, like, dude, are you serious? It's basically all the reaction. You just say?
I think maybe someone would write it down, but
A finesser.
Maybe. I mean, look, you can write it. I wouldn't write it down. I wouldn't draft that contract in a million years. I wouldn't draft that contract in a million years. But I guess you can draft it just as long as you give the disclaimer of, let's say, give a disclaimer of the actual power or the lack thereof, power and enforceability of the contract. Because again, you cannot enforce pregnancy nor sex. It's you can't. It's almost ridiculous that I have to say it like this, but you can't enforce it. So yeah. So what he's talking about,
people get locked up for enforcing stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. So what I think is funny is that he is against prenups.
That's just what the show is about.
But then comes with an alternative, which is basically a weak prenup, which is basically a wannabe prenup that you can't even enforce. So if it's truly about love, why would you even draft a marriage contract? Doesn't make sense.
Going raw.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Anyway, let's continue.
Right?
Yeah.
She says, "Well, I only want to have sex once every 6 months." Should he stay there? You both agreed initially, like, yo, we're gonna do this consistently, and now he's getting it. Should he stay there? So to me, what's very important about the marriage is that you, before you get into it, both of you guys need to agree upon everything. This is where I think the nuance in the evolution. Agree on.
Wait, I can't. Yeah, could you repeat it?
That I don't disagree with.
Me.
Regarding, you have to agree on together on a lot of things.
Yeah, I said me neither. I do. Yeah, you can't agree on everything, but
Well, let's put it this way: you have to at least talk about the things, the goals you both have. Of course, you have to be compatible with each other.
yeah,
Otherwise, what's the point, right?
yeah,
But
Patrick.
we're not gonna say you gotta put it on a writing in a contract.
Yeah, I mean, again, as couple goals, you can always you can do everything. Patrick by David, or I've heard him tell the story oftentimes that he was saying that he was, say, going out. He was tired of going out, and he decided to settle down. And he had 3 candidates to settle down with, and I think he gave all 3 the same book. But if maybe that's, I could have that wrong, but at least he gave at least one. So his wife, his now wife, then girlfriend, one of those books, and it said, and the book is called 101 Questions to Ask Yourself Before You Get Engaged. And in that book, you have 101 thought-provoking questions that also provoke discussions, conversations amongst partners. And I think, to help reach one common vision. But I wouldn't call it a contract. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's, you're describing basically your life together, your common goals. And I think a goal might be to have sex as often as possible, but I don't think you can put a number to it. It's not
Feasible.
It's not feasible.
It's not feasible. Man. Imagine that. Man. Imagine you put that on the paper. Yeah,
I can't.
dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Betty, it's written down here.
You are breaching the contract.
You're breaching the contract. Get up. Get out right now.
No, man.
Oh man, this is horrible. It's a horrible take.